The
cans.
routine you guys had during the week to me is fascinating in itself.
I had
What you guys
plaster.
did
I had
from
plaster.
the weekend to the next weekend, to me was.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to hear about that. You know, the routine you guys had, where you went. To me is interesting
Well,
also.
if you later on,
Yeah.
I'd work, and when I'd come by Keith's shop, I'd get off early. Maybe sometimes he had me to run errands. I had to go to Ford Street. Art Sparks is another name. It was a genius. And, Bobby,
Sykes.
no, Bob, the champion spark plug guy.
Stroman.
Stroman.
Strowman.
And what was the other guy that ran it?
Dick Jones.
Dick Jones ran a boat.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he'd go to Indy, and Bobby was back at Indy.
So you would run errands, you
Oh
say?
yeah, I'd pick up parts,
Uh-huh.
you know. And sometimes in Orange County, I'd go by Chet Herbert's place at night to pick up cans, even though we were running Engel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sure.
I've heard those stories
Oh,
before.
yeah.
And Doug, I remember Doug being about, he wasn't able to walk, and he had diapers on. Doug
Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just a kid.
And so you guys did this despite the fact that you all had regular jobs because you had to make a living,
Feed your family.
and then after work it was.
You had a place to work,
You
whether
had a-
it's in your house or garage or somebody's garage, or later when we got the Mangler, we rented a shop. But anyway, yeah, it was something.
Well, here is the Broussard, Purcell, Davis, and
Oh.
driver McEwen car. Now, this is later than that car.
After the crash,
Yeah.
Longer chassis,
Yeah.
McEwen
high windshield.
used to hang over at Keith's since he was the hot setup at the time.
The hot shoe.
And he wanted some of that action that Snake was winning. Okay? And
Yeah.
Moody.
Yeah, with the GB.
So
Black and
he
Purple.
propositioned Purcell. Purcell had his arm all screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And McEwen used to bug his ear and decided he didn't really own the engine, I own the engine. He supposedly bought the car from Greer. Well, I saw Tommy about 2 years ago, the Gareth car that he bought from Greer. And I went down to Tommy's place in Huntington Beach, and he was so glad to see me. He says, look, he pulled out his wallet, and he had a weather-beaten check that Joel had gave him that was bounced.
And that was also part of those times. Yeah.
I shouldn't talk about my buddy, 'cause he passed away about a year ago.
Well, you know.
Tried to get
Sure.
him, even at Prieto's we fired, when he had his Taco Fest, we fired up some cars, and Tommy talked to him. Didn't want to come. He went to Bakersfield a couple of times for the reunion.
Yeah.
That's Purcell, right?
Yeah, that's Joe Purcell. But anyway, that's how that ended up. And then we got McEwen and talked to him enough. We took the engine out of our old car and put it in McEwen's car, which was Woody worked at his house in Lakewood.
Woody Gilmore.
Garwood
Woody
Gilmore.
Okay. There's the connection
I don't
there.
think Paul was there then. I
Sutherland.
don't think he had come down yet, and Prieto could probably fill in some. But anyway, we built this car.
Right.
He built it, and we put the motor in it, and my engine wasn't as good as the Greer Black and Bethune car, because I didn't have the money that Tommy had. So I was plastering. Stump was working at Engel.
Right.
Engel? Was he working at Engel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or Hillborn?
And
They were next door to one another, so.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Could've been either one, really.
we put that together and fairly successful with it. We started moving up what they call the drag news
Yeah.
ladder.
Eliminator
And,
news.
So show that picture so I can see it one more time,
This
so I
is
know what
the
I'm
two
going to
pictures
be.
of the same car,
Okay.
1960.
1960.
Wow.
Okay, that's
Was that-
Fairly long
was that
wheelbase.
60?
Says
I don't
60 on the
remember.
back.
what wheelbase are we speaking of?
No,
Too
Looks like-
early.
that's too early, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
That's probably
60.
61, late 61, early 62.
62.
Okay, well, that's close
But,
enough. My age, anyway.
I keep commenting, it looks like a long wheelbase. It looks like
Yeah.
it's probably 140.
But it
Tell
was,
them the number 2 story.
Number two story?
Run for the number 2 spot.
Oh,
anyway, we brought the Greek out, and I said, okay. He said, McEwen says, the only thing is we gotta pay him $800 to come out here. I said, what the, I don't make that kind of money, Placer. So anyway, McEwen, I don't know, you know, he had connections, he got some money. We got the Greek out here, had a big race, I don't know, it was in
Pomona.
Pomona in January or something, the
Yep.
first race.
What year again? Once again?
It was pretty chilly,
63.
too,
The
63.
race for the number 2 spot was 63 when Millard did the T-shirt.
We had run 8 O's at Bakersfield, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks before that, it was pretty good.
In 63?
Yeah, 8-0. And anyway, McEwen decided that we need another engine, fresh engine. So he went out and got a block. Whatever the block was, Keith put it together. We went out to Long Beach to fire it up on the return road, and it threw a rod right through the wall because it was a thin wall block. It wasn't normal.
It was cast that way, are you saying?
Yes,
Or
it cast that way.
Cat
Okay.
shift, yeah,
Yeah.
core shift, yeah.
And so in that week, we had to get ready for Pomona. Well, we got the motor together and rushed everything, of course. And the reason we ran pretty good, we advanced the cam, I think, a couple of 3 weeks, and it started running really good. Because I had a weak blower, no doubt about it. And you could turn it, but it wouldn't, you know, it would fall down.
okay.
It wasn't running big speed. So
Right.
once Pomona, you okay?
Yeah, just dying.
he's dealing with it too. Just give it the big one.
You got a shot here or something?
Sure, whatever you like.
Yeah. Uh-oh. So anyway, first round, we come up to the line, the Greek fires, and Donovan was helping the Greek. Actually, that week before, we were at,
Big name.
This is great.
we'd go over and visit the Greek. Greek had all his newspaper out and all his parts laying over at Donovan's shop over on Regent Street. And, you know, we'd go out and eat. First round, Greek fired up. We couldn't get McEwen's car started. Changed the injector on it.
What time of the day was this? What was the weather
So,
like?
I don't know. 11 or
Midday
12 o'clock.
At midday at Pomona.
Yeah.
Midday at Pomona. Okay.
So
Another-
it wouldn't fire. Well, they come to the starting line, and Stump is trying to figure out. McEwen's throwing up his hands, and Stump puts his hand on top of the scoop and jumps up in the air because the fire was inside the motor. He died. He's running around. Anyway, we lost the first round.
Okay.
We come back, work on the injectors, and Pomona had a lot of bite. The Greek ran 790,
797, somewhere. in there.
797. I don't know if it was 190 maybe, 192. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a while.
And that's on a single, right?
That's on this, yeah.
Wow.
And Donovan is just running this.
Yeah.
Black. And we didn't make it. We finally got it to run in the second round, but it didn't do any good. And the winner of that got to race.
Good story, and
For
that
top eliminator,
and
that's
very
right.
descriptive,
That
and
was
that's the
part
kind
of
of
the
thing I love. So if you have memorable races, memorable days, those are the kinds of things that they're vivid in your mind. Describe them. That's what we're looking for.
And
Great, good job.
The fact that out of that came a Cam Wars deal, Esky and Engel.
Mm.
And Pete Millar put that whole little deal together about keeper lit. And that's how it started.
That whole thing in
That's where
Drag
the
Nose
keeper
was
lit
wonderful.
term comes from.
That's it.
Really?
Keeper lit.
Yeah.
Keeper
right.
lit, yeah.
Right
That was
there.
from Pete Millar.
Well, no, from this.
From this,
event.
from that
the
race.
event.
Yeah.
Was that racing the Greek?
Right.
Because they couldn't get the engine to stay lit.
Right.
Keeper lit.
And
Keeper lit.
Maybe Donovan, I wasn't there. Did Donovan?
I don't know.
I'm sure Donovan had something to do.
Donovan probably coined the term.
Yeah, he had hundreds and hundreds of them.
Right.
And by the way,
Yes.
before when we all used to hang out at Keys, Purcell used to come there, and McEwen and Moody and Snake, and before he was Snake, and the person that named him Snake was Joe Purcell.
Okay.
That's how
That's
he got
good to
the
know.
name Snake.
Good to know.
Okay.
Good job.
You can ask
Excellent.
him today. So
Wow. It's,
Danny, didn't you guys run the engine out of the McEwen Broussard car? Didn't you run that engine in the Greer Black and Perdome car at one time?
oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
we
okay.
were having a little rod problem. Thanks, Joe. The rod problem was the bearings were, couldn't figure out what was going on. We were running, Keith wanted to run them steel rods. Carillas?
Probably Carrillas. Yeah.
Carilla rods. Anyway, he said, well, we'll put your motor in Greer Black and Berdone's car. Well, we go out to Pomona. Snake wasn't too enthused about that.
Sitting behind a grenade?
No,
So
because that's
anyway,
McEwen's motor.
Because McEwen's motor.
we
okay.
ran the car, and
It's
every
not-
run, Greer Black and Berdone car with my engine in it, and he qualified, and we checked the bearings, and he wanted to hurry up and get up to the line, and didn't want to blow the car up, blow the engine up, whatever.
Right.
So we got to the point where we were running for top eliminator, and Snake was mumbling, and his wife Lynn was there, and he said, "Shut up! I don't want to be no damn test pilot for Tom McEwen." So I got up in his face and sort of backed him up against. He said, "You may be bigger than me, but I'll give you a hell of a fight." Me and Snake, and we're still good friends.
Yeah, that's wonderful.